Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to do the first look, show you how to set up for the first time this brand new Dreame D20 Air Plus robot vacuum cleaner. Now I did purchase this robot vacuum cleaner with my own money. Wasn't paid for this video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to put it together, then we're going to connect it to our smartphone, but I'll save you some trouble. This one is very cheap and it's expensive right now, but it looks like it's going to be a very inexpensive robot with all the features. Now, they sell two kinds of D20s. I recommend just get the original D20. The D20 Plus, there's a Plus and a Pro Plus. Both of those, these are much better robots. A lot more advanced features than what I'm going to show you now. You can find all these on my website, justadadapproved.com. It is home of the honest review. I've purchased over 200 robot vacuum cleaners and reviewed them with my own money. That way I can give you my honest opinion. justadadapproved.com. Now, it's retailing for $300. This is a very basic robot vacuum cleaner, and I'm starting to notice they must be sharing manufacturing with iRobot and Roborock. This robot shares a lot of similarities with the Roborock Q7L5. I've noticed the dust bins are almost identical. There's some things that are, but you can just tell there is a lot of similarities here, kind of like how the filter is. They're not identical and they're not interchangeable, but you can tell something's going on with the manufacturing process to where they are extremely similar. The brush roller's almost identical. I noticed it right away when I unboxed this. I'm like, this seems like a robot I've already done, but it's made by Dreame, so very similar. But this is a very inexpensive robot. It does come with a mop pad. It's not going to be a good mopping robot, just for vacuum only, so take the mop pad off. There's no carpet sensor, no way to lift it up and down. So again, if you're thinking of getting the best robot for vacuum only is the Dreame D20 Plus. I'll put a link to it, but you can find it on my website. The cheapest mopping robot is the Mova P10 Pro. Sometimes it's on sale for $400. Retails for $500. That's the best mopping and vacuuming robot. Anytime you want to go to a mopping robot, you really do need some more advanced features to wash the mop pad, lift it up and down, and a carpet sensor. Without that, robots really struggle mopping. So here's everything that comes in the box. We do get a mop pad. We get a side brush. It was sandwiched in between some cardboard. We get an extra dust bag. The dust bag was underneath the original ones. It was just sitting down here. So again, you will have to replace that dust bag. The robot's going to vacuum your home, come back, and auto empty through this little port here. You just simply lift that up, throw it away about every couple months. The cord was already plugged in on the back. Cord's about 5 feet long. There is a switch here, so it's a little hard. Now you're really going to want to pay attention. Mine was in the off position, so make sure you get it in the line position, which is to the right. So my switch was shipped in the off position, so turn that on. It's plugged in, 2-prong. On the bottom of the dock, it does have a port you can open up for the auto empty if it gets clogged. 120 volts, 60 hertz, 4.5 amps when it's auto emptying. Okay, with it plugged in, the dock and the robot is about 19 inches or 49 centimeters. Left to right, you're looking at about 11.5 or 29 centimeters. The robot itself, 13 or 33 centimeters. It's not very tall. You're looking at about 10.5 or 26 centimeters. The robot does have LiDAR navigation, so the top of the LiDAR navigation, 9.5 centimeters or 3 3/4 inches tall. When you plug the dock in, there's a status light here. This is where it's going to charge the robot. There's where it auto empties the dust bin. So this is not an obstacle avoidance sensor. This sensor is going to help it return to the dock. It does have the bumper technology on the front of it. Now, if an obstacle is tall enough that the LiDAR can bounce a signal off of it, then it's going to avoid it. But if it's down low, it is going to possibly run it over unless it can activate the bumper. So this is not going to have very good obstacle avoidance. But it is going to do a good job of mapping your home because it has LiDAR navigation. I like that it has two physical buttons up here, a power button, which is also start, stop, and a home button dock. Come around back. This is where it's going to charge. This is where also another sensor. You're going to press this button here. This is the dust bin. This is where you're going to fill the robot up with water. This is the dustbin, so when it vacuums your home, everything's going to go into here. Here's the filter. You will have to replace this filter and clean it once in a while. It's kind of small, but it is washable, but you have to let it dry. Now there is an electrical connection here, so it does have a water pump that sprays water on top of the mop pads. There's what that looks like. So you just slide that in. Let's flip it over now. So here's the mop pad. Now, this does not have a carpet sensor or anything, so whenever the mop pad is installed, you just snap it into these two ports right here. And so whenever it's mopping, it's just dragging the mop on the floor. It's not pushing down, it's not lifting up, but it does keep it wet. But you should pre-moisten it before you put it on here. You're going to be responsible for taking it off and then putting this in the laundry yourself, and then you got to clean it and then put it back on. Okay, let's take a closer look. There's the drive wheels. Here is the side brush. It looks like an anti-tangle, but it doesn't lift it up or extend it. Simply a square, line it up, snap it on. Here are the cliff sensors, these little glass windows so it doesn't fall down your stairs. This wheel spins free. Again, no carpet sensor, so that's going to help. This will not be a very good mopping robot. It looks like it might be an okay vacuum. It's got a really small brush roller. Let's lift this up. There is a comb down there to try to help get long hairs off of this. This brush roller, looks like this part comes off. That's about it. So if you get some hairs, hair is definitely going to probably wrap around that. Put it back in. So with what I'm seeing here, this needs to be a sub $200 robot. That's a very small. It does have 20,000 pascals of suction, which is high. I do like that. That's kind of like an anti-tangle side brush, but it's very lightweight. Again, this is not going to be a good mopping robot because there's no carpet sensor. And so you'll have to identify where all the carpet is. And if you're at a base station, these base stations I don't always like because the Roborock X10 kind of struggled with this. This base station cannot be on carpet, I'm assuming. Typically ones without the ramps that rely on the robot to dock have to be on a hard surface. And I'm not a big fan of these ones that don't have. I like ones with ramps, but it does have a nice big opening for auto emptying. We'll see. This thing may be an okay robot by vacuuming, but I hate that they sell it with a mop pad. This is just not going to be a mopping robot at all. I mean, the main brushes almost look identical. I wonder if, I mean, they're not. It's off by a little bit, but just the whole makeup of it, like the Roborock comb down there, that's almost identical. Just this whole, it does have a removable battery, kind of like the Roborock. And the iRobot, remember the 105 has some similarities here too. Like these are all very, very basic features for a robot. This is what I would call the bare minimums. I mean, even how the door moves up and down. Just lots and lots of the wheels are different, looks like. So maybe it's just, I don't. Okay, let's fill the robot water tank up with water. Now it does say you should pre-wet the mop pad. That way it starts mopping quicker. Now before we install the mop pad, let's go ahead and turn it on. Hold the power button for about 4 seconds. The lights are going to come on. We're going to flip it over. We're going to scan this code with the Dreame app. And it does play a tune. Okay, the app is free to use. Give it access to your camera. You're going to hold it up. You're going to scan that code. I already turned it on, so now we can flip it over. Click the little, or check that box, hit next. Now you're going to reset the Wi-Fi. You're going to press the 2 buttons at the same time and hold them till it speaks to you.
Waiting for the network configuration.
Click this box, hit next. Okay, so it's gonna ask you for your Wi-Fi. Select your Wi-Fi, give it your Wi-Fi password, hit device hotspot. You're gonna join this one. This is gonna transmit a Wi-Fi signal. Your tablet's gonna join it. Tell it what Wi-Fi to go to, then it should go back. Everything should go back to, we'll see here. It's usually that's automatic. We're gonna look 3 check marks here. And we're gonna do any updates that might be available. 3 check marks. Setup is usually very simple for Dreame robots.
Network connected successfully.
All right. Yep, you can give it any name you want. I'm just going to leave that.
When hearing, start charging.
I've got the base station plugged in, the lights on. Now's a good time. Push it back and charge. You should hear charging.
Start charging.
Okay, we've got it docked properly. Okay, back to the app. You got to agree. Yeah, I filled it up with water. Dry now. It's going to walk you through. Okay, there is an update. I do recommend doing this update. Select that to auto and hit update now. This usually doesn't take very long. Okay, that took maybe 5 minutes. Let's hit confirm. We'll go through the settings later. Let's do fast mapping. All right, then click OK. Open up your doors. It's going to undock, travel around your home in a random pattern, but you're going to get a map as it goes. This is the coolest part, I think. You can put no-go zones while it's mapping or a threshold, even though this has no way of climbing thresholds or going over thresholds. But sit back and enjoy. This is the best part, I think. Okay, so it's done mapping. It's backing up to the docking station. And then we're going to get a map. I closed some doors. I wanted to hurry up and get this done. So your house might be bigger and you might have it might have divided it up into rooms. Mine didn't because it's so small. So click the edit button, room partition. I want to divide this room. If the line is dotted, it won't do the divide. It did a good job of mapping my home. Hit that, and that's going to create 2 different colors. Take your time dividing up the rooms, put them, rename them accordingly. You can merge rooms, click this. You can also, click the edit button. You can also add no-go zones. I know it's going to struggle over here. You can add these later. But there's a bunch of robots that's going to just have struggle with. You can put a no mop. What's going to be very important for this robot is a no mop zone. That means when it will know, at least it does know. See, there's these little these little metal things. So the robot knows when this is installed. So when this is installed, it'll stay away from a no mop zone. And I think you may have to add where the carpet is, floor type, floor material, select a room. So you're going to pick the direction of the flooring. Mine does go that way. Again, not going to be a very good mopping, but at least that will help. So the carpet, you're going to have to add, there is no carpet. Oh, there is, I'm sorry, right here. So you're going to have to go in, and this is where it's going to be challenging when you want to mop. You've got to add the carpet manually. This has no carpet sensor, so you got to kind of measure. At least it does give you some measurement there. And you have to tell it. It will not go there. So it's going to be very challenging to have this thing mop when you got a bunch of carpet. And threshold, it's not going to climb. It may go up a ramp, but it's not going to climb any thresholds. You can put the sequence, move the rooms accordingly. When it starts the whole thing, it'll do that order. And it will do multi-floor management. Turn multi-floor on, and you can create another map. Let's go into settings. Clean history, put it on a schedule. That's the number one thing I tell people. Carpet settings. This is going to be very important. Robot will only vacuum the carpet area without mopping. Carpet boost is on, so it might get a little noisy with carpet boost on. You can turn that off. If you put a void, it won't go on carpet at all, wherever the carpet is selected. Ignore or cross. Floor cleaning settings. This is where you can turn, since I've got the direction of the floor, I can turn that on now. Dock settings. Auto empty. I would definitely recommend turning that up to high. You want that thing to auto empty a bunch and as loud as it can, because you want that filter to be clean. Language and volume. More functions. Do not disturb is on. I recommend having that on. These things will start. Off-peak charging, resume and clean. If it doesn't finish the job, it'll go back and charge and then restart again. That could be 1 in the morning if you don't have the do not disturb on. Accessory uses, this is tells you when to replace everything. Device. And then firmware update. Yeah, definitely recommend. Okay, we're ready to go. So when all is selected, it's going to do your entire home. So pick this button. There is no Clean Genius. There is no AI. So you're going to tell it you either want to vacuum, mop. Oh, I got to install the mop. Let's go install it. Okay, I installed the mop pad. Now this is highlighted. So I can do vacuum only, 4 levels of suction, 2 patterns. I can do mop only. I can adjust the wetness level. Make sure it's full. I can do vacuum and mop at the same time, or custom. We're going to do vacuum and mop at the same time. I'll turn it up a little bit. And then we're going to have it go do the corner test area. Just to give you we'll go room. You can do 1, 2, or 3 passes, and same with zones. You can move these zones around and add them. And so let's go back here. Room, 2 passes, and go clean. Okay, we're going to see how well the Dreame D20 Air Plus vacuums up this big mess. It actually did a pretty good job in the corners. There's a little bit left. It's good along the wall, and there's a little bit left in that corner. So it is able to go under furniture. All right, so now it's done the perimeter of the room. It's going to go back and forth in the nice straight lines. But first it's going to travel down here and then start. Now that mud is not dried on, but it's actually doing a pretty good job with it. It is going to do 2 passes in this room. It's doing a pretty good job with the large chunks of cereal. It's got good navigation going back and forth in the nice straight lines. It's doing a good job of vacuuming. I do like the app. You can see right where it's going, where it's mopped and vacuumed already. I do have it on its highest suction. It is relatively quiet. Okay, it's done with the first pass. It's going to do the second pass now. And I like that it does the perimeter of the room on the second pass. It's actually not too bad of a job for not having a side brush that reaches out. It's about 3 3/4 inches tall, so it can go under furniture. It wants to go under furniture. Some robots don't want to, even though they can. This one does go all the way back in there again. Obstacle avoidance on this is not going to be very good. And you're going to be responsible for taking the mop pad off yourself every time and washing it in the laundry. Now it's going to start the crisscross pattern. So it's going to do the crisscross pattern now. I had it, it's going to do 2 passes. I could have set it on 3 passes. I'm actually pretty shocked how well it's doing. Sometimes I forget how well these very inexpensive or ones without features can actually do. So that's about as clean as it's going to get. Not meant for muddy messes, everyday kind of dust and minor dirt. Basically, just give your floors a nice mop. But vacuuming actually did a good job. We're going to check the auto empty now. And still quite a bit of dirt on the floor. But it's actually pretty, if it can auto empty, this isn't too bad of a robot. So it's definitely not going to mop, just light mopping. Now it has very little obstacle avoidance. So keep that in mind. That sensor is just for helping it return to the dock. It's going to run over quite a bit of stuff, cables and stuff. If it's tall enough for the LiDAR to hit it, it will definitely go around it, but nothing that's low to the ground or in front of it. All right, it's all done. You can see it's got a really nice cleaning pattern. That's about as perfect. The docking station should definitely be on a hard surface. Those type of docks really struggle on carpet, so don't put that on carpet. Plus the mop pad. There's no plastic, so you need to take the mop pad off right away, or it's going to stain your hardwood floor.
Start charging. Start auto empty.
Sounds like it got it all, but we'll see. There's a little bit left. So the mop pad, again, you're responsible for taking that off.
Pads removed.
And there's not any long hairs. Still some debris around there. This is a very, see, it didn't even auto empty at all. So this is a very simplistic design, not meant for large homes, not meant for people with pets. Very, very basic. Okay, so I've got it on maximum suction. I got a bunch of long hairs, some cereal, kitty litter. Now it's doing a zoned cleaning, so it's going to clean the perimeter of the zone first and then go back and forth in the nice straight lines. The side brush does rotate on carpet, and there's not a setting in the app where you can turn that off. It's doing a good job of vacuuming. There's the kitty litter. And I've got it, it's going to do 2 passes. It definitely needs 2 passes on this carpet. Okay, second pass. It did the perimeter of the square. Now it's going to do the zigzag crisscross pattern. It's got to auto. It's doing a good job of vacuuming. It just needs to auto empty this. In the mopping test, the auto empty was just so-so. But I'm always quite shocked about these vacuuming. This actually vacuums really well. The kitty litter was right here. There's none left. So that dustbin's going to be quite full. We'll make sure it can auto empty. Again, no carpet sensor. You're going to have to pinpoint where the carpet is in the app. It's just time consuming. It's not super hard, but you may have to trial and error. And I prefer robots with carpet sensors that tell me where the carpet is. That's why the price point on this should be lower. It should be this. This is almost a sub $200 robot. This is a ride around it's $300 right now. That's full price. That's too much. I would just get the standard D20 Pro. This just kind of came out of nowhere. Air Plus. They gave it the same D20 number, which this is not a D20. The D20 is a much better robot. It's got long hair, dual brush roller. It's just a completely different robot. So we left a little bit. Not bad. Took up all the hairs. We're going to check it. There's the cleaning pattern it did. Be sure to check out my website for the latest updates on all the robots at justadadapproved.com. We're going to check the auto empty loudness.
Start charging. Start auto empty.
It's about standard, 76, 86 down there. All right, this is where it's been struggling. All right. Sometimes. Yeah, robots that don't have a good auto empty system, they really do struggle with kitty litter. Ooh, lots of long hair wrap. Okay, so as you can see, long hair wrap is going to be a problem. That comb doesn't do hardly anything, but there's a lot of long hair wrap. So this does not have the long hair management like the original D20. Here, I've got it right here. See, it's got that's an advanced dual brush roller design. That helps with long hair. This is just a much better robot. But if you want the mopping robot to get is the Mova P10 Pro. Here's the spec sheet again. You'll find this on my website, but it's $239. That's still too much. It needs to be below $200. 20,000 pascals of suction, just a flat mop, single with the comb, but the comb really doesn't do anything. No thresholds for say, no chassis lift, 3 3/4 inches. You know, I'm still going to stick by, it's just basic vacuuming, and the docking station just sucks out the robot. That's it. The bags are the same as the D20, so that's good. Not sure I'll be taking that robot to my home. I may test it in the basement. I may leave it around here some more. There's not a whole much more testing we can do on that. I mean, that's just super basic. If you're looking for something very budget, very entry level, it's actually not going to be too bad. Good user experience. Again, small apartment, not a lot of dirt and debris. I would love to see the auto empty a little bit better. That's going to bother me a little bit because if they don't auto empty well, then you don't know it and it's filled up and then it's not vacuuming. So don't know if that's going to get a Just a Dad approved sticker or not, but we'll see. Again, the first look. Again, if you want to see all the robots that I highly recommend, check out my website, justadadapproved.com. I do use links. So if you purchase a product from this video description or on my website, justadadapproved.com, the product's not going to cost you anymore, but I do earn a small commission from the sale. It's a way of helping support my channel. I do purchase these robots. I've purchased over 200 robot vacuum cleaners with my own money, and I can give you my honest opinion. Right now, the Mova P10 Pro, it is April 2026. It's still my #1 pick. I just finished up the P10 Gen 2. It's a great robot. It's just hard to beat that one because it's a little bit cheaper, and the Gen 2 is not that much better for the price. So lots of exciting news coming for the website. Again, right now it's very basic. It's got the basic links. The robots that I highly recommend are on there. But that's going to get revamped in the future with so much more information for you, the consumer, when it's time to clean your robots, when the sales are happening. And today there was just an amazing sale. I sent an email out Monday morning. The Mova V50 went down to $700. I never have seen it for $700. The cheapest I've ever seen it was $600 or $750. That sale came out of nowhere. There is nothing going on right now. I stumbled upon it. And so I sent an email. I actually bought a second one. I bought a black one. So I just want to see that one right now is kind of I've used it for about 8 months, and now it's kind of a display model. I want to start using it again. The Mova V50. So again, thanks everybody. If you could check out my website, justdadapproved.com, and thanks for watching.